we're here with Dori John today. She's owner of Roseburg Disposal, and which is a company here in Roseburg that's been in business since 1932. So you're the third generation?
I am. My grandpa started the
Wow.
company.
So what we're going to talk to you about today, Dori, is the things that you are doing with your company to combat global warming, because we're on a collision course with Mother Nature and she is mad at us. So
Okay.
tell us what you're doing, all the things that you're doing.
Well, our biggest thing that we're doing is taking a foray into electric vehicles. So we have an electric vehicle, Ford F-150 Lightning for the company. I personally drive a Ford Mustang Mach-E, and we have an electric garbage truck for a residential pickup on order that should arrive in the springtime.
Wow, that's a big investment,
It is a big investment.
you know, I
Very
mean, I
big.
would think. And so is the ultimate goal to put your whole fleet of trucks as electric?
Eventually, it's more than double the cost of a diesel garbage truck.
So how long do you project it will take to break even on that investment?
I haven't even projected that out.
Okay. Just one.
So we will hopefully break even with maintenance costs will be much less. And again, obviously the fuel costs are going to be less. We set up ahead of time before we ordered the truck. We got all of our infrastructure put in. So our electric, we got a new electric transformer from the Pacific Power put up. We have a DC fast charger put in that will charge 2 trucks at a time and have the ability to put 8 more in that are plumbed. So we're ready to go when we need them with more trucks. So we're in a good position to really expand into electric vehicles, but there are some routes that aren't conducive to electric vehicles. There are longer routes, so we won't be able to use them for everything.
Okay.
But
So
we hope to we'll keep some of our diesel vehicles, but hope to keep less and less.
Yeah. So for you, what it sounds like to me, it's not just economics. It was like time to do it.
It was time to do it. It's the right thing to do, as you know, for the environment, as you're talking about. But there's also lots of legislature going through that limits the amount of diesel trucks, the amount of exhaust output that they put out. We're ahead of the game in Oregon. But we feel like that's where things are going, and we might as well get ahead of it.
Yeah.
It is the right thing to do. Some of our friends in other areas in Oregon who own garbage companies have CNG, and we decided to forego CNG. It's very difficult to work on.
And I don't know what that is.
Compressed natural gas.
Okay.
And legislature is steering people away from that now anyway.
Okay.
But decided to wait till electric really started coming out for an option, and
So
that happened.
How did you determine what company to buy these big electric garbage trucks from?
Our head mechanic did a lot of research on the different manufacturers. We went to a company in Idaho that has been using electric trucks for a couple of years and did some ride-alongs when making this decision, and some interviews about how they, as a company and their drivers, like driving the electric trucks, and it was all extremely positive.
Yeah.
So
what do they like about it? Does it feel different to them?
it feels different to them. It is quieter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a garbage truck will never be quiet because there's all that banging that happens. But from an idling standpoint, it's quieter, it's smoother, and when you're in a diesel truck, you're sitting over the engine, so it's producing a lot of heat, whereas in an electric vehicle, that's not happening.
Where is the big battery?
Throughout the whole chassis.
Okay. So one of the things I wondered about is how do these electric vehicles, electric trucks especially, do when it's really cold? How does the battery hold up?
That's a really good question. It loses a good amount of battery. It loses probably 15 or 20% of battery when it's really cold outside. So we factored that in as far as our routes are concerned. And we learned that it was a little more substantial than we thought, even with the F-150 Lightning. But it still works pretty well.
Yeah, well,
So
and there's still enough power for the garbage truck to pick your garbage can up and
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's good. I
exactly.
hate for it to stop in mid-toss,
Yeah.
you know.
No,
Um,
we'll plan better than that.
So the F-150 Lightning, the F-150, the Ford 150 truck is the best-selling truck in America. I was thrilled when they came out with an electric truck,
Right.
and you like it.
We love it.
Okay, what is wonderful about it?
Some of the same things I mentioned about the garbage truck. It runs quiet and smooth. It has easy acceleration.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be a little more careful not to go too fast.
They have plenty of power.
It has plenty of power. It has a lot of power. The battery, people have talked out there about the battery not holding for pulling and towing.
Mm-hmm.
It does fine for us. We use it every day to tow trailers around. Our trailers are smaller than like a fifth wheel trailer or something like that. But we probably only charge about every third day. So.
And so you have, here at your facility, you have charging stations set up?
Yes, we have a DC fast charger and we have the charger that came with the Ford F-150, both installed. And then we have all the infrastructure put in to put in 8 more of those DC chargers,
Yeah.
fast chargers. And each of those fast chargers will charge 2 trucks.
I'm so proud of you for doing this.
So thank you.
So you said that there are other garbage disposal companies in this area. Are they following your lead with this?
Sutherland Sanitary, I know the owner has an F-150 Lightning himself, and they're very curious about the electric garbage trucks and going into that, and they're kind of watching how things go for us. I have some people coming from Medford and Portland to take a look at our setup in the next few weeks, to just tour and see what we've done, to get an idea. We're all very friendly amongst different garbage companies and share information.
So talking trash takes on a whole new meaning.
Yeah, sure does.
So, when you decided to do this, how did you know who to call to come and put in a charging station?
Research.
Yeah?
Yeah. Our head mechanic did most of that research.
Well, bless his heart. He needs a raise.
He does.
I'll bring it up.
Yeah. Yeah, he got a nice bonus.
Oh, good. Good. Good for you.
He's very, very good and did a lot of research on who to talk to. I talked to those people at that time and just kind of got things moving, but I really credit him with the major bulk of the work going into that.
So once your new electric garbage truck gets here, what's your plan with the newspaper and the television and the radio stations? You gotta do it. You know you do.
Absolutely.
You
We
gotta
will.
promote it.
we will let everybody know, that we have it. And that invite them to come take a look at it if they'd like to.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty sure they will,
good,
so,
good.
yeah.
A strange thing happens when you don't promote.
Yes,
Nothing.
nothing.
And so your family has owned this company since 1932, so 90 years, 91 years. And it's so unusual for a company to go that long. I mean, we always produce garbage, so, you know, it's like
Yeah,
job
we say we're
security.
always picking up.
The
Okay.
Ford Mustang.
Yeah, I drive the Mustang Mach-E and absolutely love it. It is very, very easy to get around. It goes a little fast, so you have to be careful. But it is easy to drive. I probably only have to charge once a week or less, unless I'm going out of town, and I've taken it to Bend, to Portland, Eugene back and forth, and haven't had any trouble finding chargers.
How do you know where they are, where their charging stations are? Is there an app that you can
There's
look
an
at?
app on the phone that tells you where
Okay.
charging stations are, and you can look online as well. I'm gonna go to Sun River this summer and need to find out where the closest charging stations are for Sun River, so, but I'm assuming that they probably have some in Sun River proper.
So when you get in your Mustang Mach-E, does it feel like you're in a Mustang, you know, from the feel? Or is
You
it
know,
like-
I'm not a muscle car person,
Okay.
so I didn't buy it because it was a Mustang.
Yeah.
I liked that it was more of an SUV style, and it happened to be a Mustang. So I think that the Mustang, proper Mustang people don't necessarily see it as a Mustang.
Well, they probably miss the ability to go bow wow, bow wow. You know?
Right,
So.
right, it doesn't make the
Yeah, it
noise.
just kind of goes
Yes,
like that.
yes.
So, when you fill up your Ford Mustang, how long does a tank of gas last you?
Well, there's no gas.
At all?
No.
Oh, it's
No,
totally
it's
that, there's no
totally
hybrid.
electric.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a hybrid.
Wow.
So, over a week usually, depending on where I'm going.
That's still, to me, and I'm probably not the only one, but it still feels kind of scary to me
Does it?
to take off in a totally electric car
Yeah,
and know that
yeah.
there's not a place I can just pull into.
But there is a place you can pull
Well,
into
yeah, there's not
usually.
that anyway.
But it might not be a fast charger, so it might take you a little longer. But to charge the car, for instance, when I drive to Portland, I stop at the Woodburn outlets, where they have the DC fast chargers, plug in for 45 minutes or so, do a little bit of shopping or grab lunch, and come back and the car is charged.
Yeah,
So
pretty easy.
it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy.
So how do you, I mean, the company truck, the F-150, I really thought about getting one of those because sometimes you just need a truck, you know, to lug something, but it's pretty expensive
It is.
right now, so.
Yeah.
Is that gonna come down as more and more people?
I can't tell you if it's gonna come down. I think they're coming down. I know the Mach-E's are coming down already. So I would anticipate it does. And as we get further into electric cars becoming mainstream, they're improving the batteries all the time. They may go to solid state batteries. They're looking at doing that.
What does that mean?
A solid state battery is a smaller, lighter weight battery, and they're doing different trials and trying to adapt to some other types of batteries. But I don't know the future and what's going to happen, but I anticipate that it'll become more mainstream.
Is the electric vehicle substantially heavier?
Yes.
wonder how that's gonna affect roads.
Um,
Will taxes go up to repair roads because these vehicles are
because
heavier?
vehicles, I am not sure, I can tell you with trucks, with garbage trucks, for
Mhm.
instance, or big trucks, you pay, weight mile vehicle tax
Mhm,
by the weight of the truck.
yeah,
And so we'll still be paying those fees, at a higher amount, based on the weight of our truck. But with actual cars, I don't know if registrations will go up,
yeah,
because, they have a lot to figure out with gas vehicles. Part of your taxes for road fees and whatnot are factored into the price per gallon of
right,
gas.
Right.
But if you're not using gas, how are you then contributing?
yeah,
So that's something that I'm sure, if it's occurred to me, has occurred to,
that's a big assumption.
yeah, well,
And somebody in the legislature.
yeah.
Anyway, so I'm proud of you that you're doing this. I'm glad it's not just about economics. I'm glad you're doing it because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah,
And you have children and will have
yes,
grandchildren at some point.
yes,
I'd like for them to have a nice place to grow up.
I would, very much.
Anyway. So Dori, how did you go about getting solar power to your home?
I Googled it.
Yeah?
I Googled companies, in Roseburg, Oregon,
Mm-hmm.
and looked at a couple different companies. They came out and did a consultation. I was happy with the product. It seemed like a good, I wanted, a product that was higher quality.
Mhm.
These are made in Germany, whereas many of them are made in China. Not that I'm dissing China completely, but
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of moved on. They helped with financing.
Mm-hmm.
So I pay a small amount on a 20-year loan, and then it's hooked up through Pacific Power, so my Pacific Power bill comes, and I don't have enough solar on my house the way the roof was to cover the entire electric bill, but it reduces the electric bill significantly.
Like half or more than that?
More than half,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, that feels like you've won something
It does. It does.
every month when you get the bill.
Well, and prices for electricity will continue going up,
Right.
but my loan will not.
Was that difficult to do?
No, the company took care of all of that. It took a day for them to put it on the roof and
Really?
wire everything in. They did have to come back, and one other day after we had our city inspection and make a couple small changes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was ready, the power company inspected, and it was ready to go. And we just flipped the switch.
Wow.
So it was extremely easy. I
Well,
felt like I should be doing more, but I didn't participate too much.
yeah. And so it only took a day and plus a couple of little,
For the installation.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty amazing when you think of it, really.
yeah, it is.
And so they ordered their panels, their solar panels from Germany,
They do.
and they have them in stock here, so. if
Um,
people call,
I believe they have them in stock. They run in all of Oregon,
mhm,
and probably other states. But, they have to get the permitting through the city or county building department and go through that process. So from the time I committed to doing it to the time they were installed was probably 4 or 5 months.
mhm. But they handle all the paperwork.
They handled everything.
Isn't that nice?
Yes,
I think that's so good.
it was great.